Hello, and welcome to another tantalising glimpse of Landmark Beta with me, Binage. Well, I must first apologise for not having put anything out for the past couple of weeks. In my defence, I've had a bit of a cold, which has meant that I've been coughing more than breathing. That's a slight exaggeration, but you get where I'm coming from. I've been coughing a lot and sniffing and sneezing and doing all the things that one does when one has a cold, and all the things that I'm guessing you really don't want to hear me doing, which would mean pausing the video pretty much constantly. Anyway, it's mostly better now. Coincidentally, there has been very little in the way of updates in the past couple of weeks. Reason being, SOE's been working up towards this E3 thing next week. Also, there were wildfires in very near the SOE offices, and there was a national holiday. So, yeah. It was all quite serendipitous. I was ill on at the same time as Sony didn't really put very much out. So, hurrah! This week, however, they have put some stuff out. It's not a huge amount, but the reasons for it not being huge should become apparent towards the end. But to start with, what we've got, and let me say, it may not be big, but it's perfectly formed. I really like this update. To start with, we have new textures. Ta-da! Now, these are new metal textures. Well, I say new, the top row aren't. The top row are the raw metals as one has always been able to place them. Below them, however, are the worked forms. Now, for those of you not quite aware of this, raw forms of anything, pretty much, bleeds into the textures of other things, whether they be worked or unworked. So that can lead to some pretty ugly stuff happening in terms of well, I mean, there's just confusion, and it's very difficult to get straight lines, straight line divisions between different unworked materials. It is possible, and it's possible using microvoxels and antivoxel strings and stuff like that. But it's a bit of a faff, and not something that you really want to do if you're doing a large-ish scale project, really. But this goes some way to addressing that issue, and that's superb. So I haven't included here gold or iron, both of which are unchanged. They still have their worked and raw forms. So this is just the new textures down here. I have to warn you that when using these textures, or when assigning them rather, they don't appear in the same places in the texture window. They might fix that later if they notice it. They might not. It's not a major thing, but don't sort of automatically go to the first one and expect it to be shiny or dull. It won't necessarily be. Anyway, what we've got is, let's close that. If I read you down the different textures, we've got hammered, and then we've got horizontally banded, riveted. I'll come back to this one late in a moment. This is panelled, and I think it's most obvious here. If you make it larger, it will probably sort of create panels about yay big. And vertically banded. Now this here, and to a certain extent this, but I mean hammered is hammered. Now this is either dull or shiny, depending on the type of metal that you're using. The exception of this being iron, which has both dull metal and shiny metal variants. Everything else is either dull or shiny. Now that tends to go along the lines of the lower tier materials being dull and the upper tier materials being shiny, but that's not universally true. Silver comes in to be shiny in the middle of these three dull forms. So we've got dull, dull, shiny, dull, shiny, 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 shiny. So you get more shiny than you get dull. It would have been really nice, if I'm being picky, and you know me, I always am, it would have been really nice if we'd had both dull and shiny options for all metals, but I'll live with what we've got. Nice thing is it does give us an additional palette, sort of more colours to work with, and that's great. So, hurrah! Also, and I can't believe I haven't remembered to do this because I'm a dope, we've got new wood textures as well. Now this has caused some concerns in the game. People going, oh no, where are my wood textures? All of my wood textures are gone. These are unworked wood textures. To get to your worked wood textures, just scroll down and there you are, there's your regular worked wood textures, exactly the same as they were before. But since the unworked wood, the plain logs, appear at the top of the list, people have been worried that the old textures have gone away. They haven't, fear not. To give an example of these, they're yeah, I'll just give an example. It's the simplest. There we go. See, so yes, these are the. I remember them being better textured than that. One tick. Nope. I thought they were better textured than that. They're apparently not, which is a shame because they did have finer detail than that. Than they appear to have at the moment. But anyway, those are the unworked wood textures. They don't have any polish to them, but as you see, interestingly, they don't bleed into one another, which is fascinating. Anyway, moving on. Smoothing tool improvements. This is awesome. And for the purposes of this, let me get rid of 2 of these blocks. Right. Now the new tool apparently uses a completely new algorithm which makes the smoothing proportional. I have no idea what it did before, but now it's proportional. The amount of smoothing now is relative to the thickness of the thing that you're smoothing. Now, the example, which I'm going to give right here, is that smoothing this block. That's boom, boom. Will eventually result in me getting a getting a sphere. Let's see how that is. It's not brilliant, but it's pretty good, and it's certainly better than what we got before. Now, bear in mind that is a that was just a 4 voxel block. Sorry, a 2 voxels cubed block. So 4 voxels. Oh. Bear in mind that was 4 voxels, and normally you would have come up with an unrecognizable mess at the end of that smoothing process, and now you've got something that actually does look like a sphere. Now, had you done that before with a block like that, even a larger block, you would have come up with something that looked more like a D12 or a D20, sorry, a 12 or 20 sided dice, than a sphere. So massive improvement there. Now they've also toned down the power of the smoothing tool, so by I think a factor of 2. So where it would take 2 clicks to get to a regular size microvoxel, now it takes I think 4, but I haven't really sort of played extensively with the smooth tool yet. There are issues when smoothing something. I think there are issues when smoothing something intricate and large. I'll show you later something that I had issues with shrinking, because obviously it doesn't with smoothing rather, because it takes the whole rather than the individual components of the whole. At least that's what it seems to do. Now that's not all they've done to the smoothing tool, because now they have also given us as the equivalent of a tweak mode. So if I take this, take this again. Come here. Thank you. And of course I'm reminded when doing this that what we had was a 3x3 lump, not a 2x2 lump, as I just said. Numeracy is not one of my gifts, unfortunately. Neither is memory. Okay, there we go, all nicely centered. Now switch to the smooth tool again, and now if you hold down Control at the same time, then you get a hold Control for more granular smoothing, they call it. So it's actually much gentler. Again, it's about 4 to 1 of the regular tool, or something like that. Let's see if I can go back a few stages just to give a better indication, because from there we go. So let's go to there, and if you remember, it was 1 click to get to that stage. Now that was 4, and then 5 deforms it ever so slightly into that interesting looking cross shape. Anyway, yes, so they've given us a finer control, which is lovely. It's great. Chat windows. Chat windows will now save position upon logout, which is great, but not actually true. As you see here, it doesn't, because I pull that down there so it doesn't distract, and then up it pops if I refresh the screen at all, which I have to do occasionally. So it sort of does and sort of doesn't. It's temperamental, let's put it that way. The other thing it will do, and now I'm going to pull it up, is if you scroll up to see something, say, I don't know, Nerdle has left general. Before, what would happen is if you got anything at all happening, like somebody else joining or somebody else leaving, it would instantly go shoot down to the bottom, which was a massive pain if you were trying to read back in a conversation. It was really difficult because of the join leave spam that we still have, but you know, I'm sure they'll fix that. I'm sure they will. But because of the join leave spam, if you were trying to go back over a conversation, it was very, very difficult indeed. Now it holds its position until such time as you scroll down to the bottom. There we go. And now once you're at the bottom, it'll start scrolling as normal. This is a massive improvement, certainly for people like me who aren't always looking at their chat window, and so will miss stuff and have to scroll back if it looks like there's an interesting conversation happening. So that's superb. Now we've got some new props, and for this I will leave the comfortable confines of my workshop, and I'll see you in the cottage, I think. Yes, see you in a bit. And welcome back. Now this is the first of the new props, and it's called a painted wooden settle. Not really sure what the difference is between a settle and a sofa, although that's not really a sofa, it's more of a bench, and I guess they already have a bench, so yeah, settle. Not familiar with the word, but that's what it looks like. It's alright. Not something, as you see, that I've decided to give house space to, but I think it looks quite nice out here. Maybe, sort of. Yeah. And the next thing is, there you go, a writing desk, or more properly just a desk. Now I had my issues with this. As you'll see, I've basically hidden it inside my regular writing desk. I'm still not sure if I'm actually going to keep this or not. I might decide to dump it altogether, but it's kind of nice to have drawers, maybe. Anyway, let's adjust it, and you can see. Oop. Oh, that's odd. Let's try that again. Just. There we go, that's more like it. See if we pull it out. There you get a better idea of what the thing looks like. Put it up in the air a bit. And yeah, as you see, lots of drawers. The thing is, there's not actually a lot of writing space here. This looks more proportional to me. Wouldn't really be able to do very much on that unless the proportions of it became Herculean. So it would be ridiculously high and ridiculously wide if the writing area were extended to be workable. Also, there's this sort of odd little lip which makes this, which makes the writing area, if you see there, it makes the writing area also completely unusable. So in terms of desk, not particularly practical. So again, I might lose it altogether, or I might keep it there. I don't know, haven't decided yet. But hey, all new props are gratefully received. Keep them coming. Another thing is something that I haven't found anywhere to put. I'll call up my inventory. There we go. And there you see where it is instantly. Come on, up you get. Just pop it there. And you see it is sword stained glass. It has this square wooden outlay, which means you don't need to shape whatever it goes into, which is good. It's very nice. I have no issues with it at all. It just doesn't particularly fit in with the build that I have at the moment, or at least I can't think of anywhere where it would look decent. But it's nice. Again, you know, any additions to the game are welcome ones. Now we've got now we move to somewhere else. But before we move to somewhere else to see the final new prop, I'm just going to introduce you to let's say a feature that they've introduced. You can probably hear, you've probably been able to hear for a while, but this is like something out of the Sorcerer's Apprentice. All of the machines are running and making noise, and it's actually pretty damn loud in game. So yeah, hopefully they'll turn them all off again by default. I just got used to the peace and quiet. Yeah. Anyway, quick jaunt to my new build, which is just over there. You can see it from here, in between the cottage and the spires, and yeah, I'll see you there in a sec. And here we are at the new build. I decided to do a Japanese themed build. It's not quite finished yet, but I think most of the things are in. There's a few touches yet to be done. And I'll probably give you a more extensive tour later, but for now you'll just have to do with the occasional glimpse of stuff that's around the place. But what I'm really bringing us up here for is this, which is the round cushion. Let's zoom in a bit. There it is. That is the round cushion. It is available in black, blue, red and white. It's rather wonderful. I like it very much. You can use it for a variety of things. The only gripe I have with it is that it has this patch, and the patch is on both sides. So if I flip this over, there's a patch in exactly the same location. You cannot hide it, which is really annoying. Really annoying. I get that, I don't know, the art department are trying to make their props look idiosyncratic or something, but it just fails, because if you want to use multiple examples, well, multiple cushions, say, all of these multiple cushions will have exactly the same size patches in exactly the same place, and you can rotate it all you like, but it's going to be pretty obvious that they're actually the same model. Whereas if you don't put that level of idiosyncrasy into it, if the artist had kept it to just these sort of crease lines, it would have been a beautiful prop and useful for so many things. As it is, it's still useful, but it's not really useful, because anything that you use it for pretty much is going to have that patch, which is kind of going to give the game away, and that's a real shame. All the same, it's great to have. It's great to have another cushion. It's particularly great to have a round one, which is something I've been after for a while, and goes particularly well with this build. Haha. Now this brings me to pretty much the end, but I'll tell you why the oh yes, before I do that, let me take you to the Zen garden down here. Now this was my first experiment with the new smoothing tool, and I have to say the tool doesn't play well with large selections. Not like this anyway. As you see, there are multiple lines going across here, and although I'm pleased with the effect I've got eventually. It took a while getting here, and as you see, there's still sort of bits that I need to smooth manually. I'm sure it works superbly in sort of single connected structures, but because I was trying to do this on the quick and do sort of the whole garden at once, even the subtle tool was really quite blunt about it, and there wasn't a huge improvement, if at all, over the old smoothing tool. So something to watch out for. But yeah, on the whole, the new smoothing tool is superb, and I can't think of many situations where people would be trying to do ridiculous stuff like this. So and I very much doubt it was done with that in mind. So yes, where was I? Oh yes, on Monday, the reason why this is apparently such a thin patch will become apparent. And as I say, although I say it's a thin patch, it's got this new smooth tool which is superb. It's a massive improvement over what we had before, and we've got all those new non-bleed textures, and we've got some new props, and we've got the improvement to the chat system. This isn't a lightweight update. It was a really good, really solid update, but I think the community generally has been wetting its taste buds for what's happening on Monday, and what's happening on Monday is caves. We're also getting swimming, not to not to do swimming down. Swimming is also scheduled for Monday, but I think pretty much most of the community is really looking forward to, and has been for a very long time, looking forward to caves and caving. Now, a few weeks ago they told us that we would be losing all the claims. There would be a claim wipe, but they've decided not to do that, and instead they will only be wiping those claims that are sat on top of cave entrances. Now, apparently this isn't going to affect very many people, but I'm willing to bet I will be one of those unlucky people. If you see, the cottage is just over there. You see the floating cottage reasonably well there. And as you can see, I cunningly built it on a cliff, or what approximates the cliffs around here. Now, I am willing to bet that somewhere on this ridge there is going to be a cave entrance. Now, I might be lucky and the cave entrance might be around here, and if it's around here I probably won't get wiped. However, if it's much closer to me than that, then I think I'm going to lose the cottage and the floating cottage and the stairway, and I have to do it all over again. It will be templated, which is great, but I don't think I'll actually be able to use that template at all. And honestly, you know, it'll be nice to be able to, you know, take the opportunity to rebuild those things that perhaps I'm not entirely happy with. There's the workshop, there's aspects of the workshop that I'd like to change. There's a lot about the cottage that I'd like to change, and so getting them deleted will give me the oomph to actually go and make those changes. The floating cottage I'm pretty happy with, but I've templated that separately, so even if everything does get wiped, I'll be able to reinstate that alone without having to bolt everything else on. The stairway is so tied into the landscape around it that if it gets wiped, there's no way I'll be able to reintegrate it. So I don't mind losing that. I don't mind the claim wipe, honestly. I know some people have been kind of worried about it. I'm not. As I say, it gives me an opportunity to redo stuff that perhaps I wasn't entirely happy with. And you never know, it might not get wiped. And that'd be brilliant. If it doesn't get wiped, then I can still work on it. But I'll just, you know, I'll have lost at the moment I don't have a great deal of motivation to work on it because it's quite tied into the landscape, and so I wouldn't be able to place the template down anywhere else, not seamlessly anyway. So any work I do on it at the moment will be lost come the claim wipe, pretty much. So yeah, once the claim wipe has happened, either it will be gone or it won't, and if it has gone, I'll rebuild it. If it hasn't gone, I can take my time rebuilding it. It's a win-win, really. But do feel free to bet in the comments to let me know whether you think I will be wiped or whether you think I'll get off scot-free. Let's well, I mean, I'm not gonna. It's a fun wager. Let's put it that way. Let's see your votes. Will I stay or will I go? Anyway, thanks awfully for putting up with my waffle again. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, do please leave a like, and maybe think about subscribing to this channel. Although, it's just this. Doesn't get any better than this. And of course, as ever, if you have any questions or comments or anything at all, do please leave a comment in the area provided below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.